All right, so we were looking at statistics. So the first part of the thing that we looked at in statistics was collection of data. So when we collect data, if we take all data, data can broadly be divided into two different parts. Data can be categorical. So categorical means that we put things into groups according to structure or some feature that we look at that. With categorical data, it can be nominal, and that means that there's a number of groups and you decide which group you're going to go into. So it can include things like, what sort of car do you own? Holden, not anymore, Holden, Ford, Toyota. So you decide which car group you're going to go into. Religion, whether you're Catholic or whether you're not, whether you're Jewish, whether you're not, all those sort of things. Football team, so which football team can depend on what sort of football you follow, roundball code, rugby, Aussie rules, and then you would nominate your football team. Ethnicity, so whether you're wholly Australian or whether you look at where you came from originally, or something like your favourite food. So all these sort of things, you would nominate which group you go into. So that would be categorical and nominal. The other thing that categorical can be is ordinal. Now, ordinal means that there's some order to it. So it's categories based on order. So for example, if you win an athletic event, you can either come first, second, or third. Now, even though they're numbers, it's a category based upon an order, first, second, or third. So therefore, that's categorical ordinal. Or your work habits. You might have excellent work habits, or very good, or okay, or RS. So those are based upon a ranking system. So these all are based upon an order or ranking system. And again, you go into whichever category best suits your work habits. The other type of data is numerical data. So numerical data normally involves measurements or counting. You either have to count or you need to take measurements. There's two different types of numerical data. There's discrete, which is only whole numbers. So that's things like the number of students in the class. So if I walk in and count the number of students in class, it's got to be a whole number. I can't have 22 and 1/3 students in class. I can't have 24 and a half students in the class. I either have 22 or I have 23. The number at a football game. Again, I can only have whole numbers coming to a football game. I can't have fractions of people. And number of cars in a car park. So they're all examples of numerical and discrete. And then the other side is continuous. So continuous means it can be any range of numbers. The accuracy depends upon the instrument used and normally involves measurement. So things like height. So in amongst the class, I might measure every single person in the class, and every single person may have a different height. Okay, and how accurately I can measure that height depends upon the accuracy of the equipment being used. So there may be 23, I may have 23 individual heights, and so that's continuous data. So height, weight, speed of an object, acceleration, those types of things are all examples of continuous numerical data. So on the first page of your booklet here, for this exercise 4.1, there's a table here that talks a little bit about it, and then there's this space down here. You might want to put this chart here into that space there. I mean, you can fill in those gaps if you like, but that chart's probably of more use. If you then turn over the page and look at the examples that are there, it says state whether the following variables are nominal, categorical, ordinal categorical, discrete numerical, or continuous numerical. So each time you get something, you have to ask, where does it go first? Is it this one or is it that one? Once you've decided here, then you work down to the next section. So the first thing is gender. So gender, is it categorical or numerical? Well, that's categorical because you decide, well, based upon your features, whether you are male or female. So it's categorical and then it's nominal. So gender is categorical and nominal. The number of children. So again, that's numerical. Okay, so the number of children is numerical and it's discrete because you can only have whole numbers. So the number of children would be numerical, discrete data. The finishing position in a 100-metre race, again, that's, even though it's based on a number, it depends on ranking. So it's a category and then it would be ordinal. So it's categorical and ordinal data. And then your height would be numerical and continuous. All right, so now you can work on exercise 4.1.